There's a sense of fear that has been taking hold in our country. And I understand it. But we're saying people stay quiet. We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here to say I told you so.
Kamala Harris came back and delivered a beautiful takedown of Donald Trump. Now, last night at the Leading Women Defiant Summit, Kamala Harris made an appearance and she gave a speech where she outlined a lot of the problems that America is facing today that have been caused by Donald Trump. Then she hit him with this line.
Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here to say I told you so.
There you go. I'm not here to say I told you so. No, Kamala, that's my job. That's our job. There's many people doing that for Donald Trump and his supporters. But man, when I heard her last night, all I could think is we had a choice in November and we made the wrong one. And right now we're all paying for it. And I really believe that if we could go back with the knowledge we have now, America would overwhelmingly choose Harris. But we can't do anything about that now. The best we can do is remind Trump supporters, not the hardcore, but those on the fringe, look, you could have chose something different. Maybe listen to us next time.
I just saw a video with Vice President Kamala Harris, and it put a smile on my face. I miss her authenticity, her giddiness. I'll even take the word salad, the so-called word salads. But I would tell you this, an educated black woman with a plan is a dangerous black woman. Not from a threat standpoint, one that you know will get things done. You can sit back. You don't have to worry. You knew she cared about the American people. She gave us hope to want to forgive and love America again. We were ready to roll up our sleeves. Us 82% behind the 92%, we were ready to go back all in. Versus what we have right now. I don't even think Donald Trump loves himself, let alone this country. Because if you love people, you don't treat them the way you do. You don't spend time thinking about retribution. And you don't lie so much. We're not stupid. All right, maybe some of us are not so bright. But the majority of us are not stupid.
Kamala Harris showed up unexpectedly at a leadership summit for black women in California on Thursday, and she had some solid words about her political future after her recent loss to President Trump in the 2024 election. During her speech, which lasted close to 8 minutes, she made it clear that she's not stepping back from the political scene anytime soon. "I'm not going anywhere," she stated confidently, letting everyone know that this setback isn't the end for her. It was a moment that resonated with many in the audience, as Harris spoke about her commitment and determination to keep advocating for issues important to her and the community. This event was not just about addressing her loss, but also about empowerment and rallying support among women leaders. Her appearance and message seemed to energize folks, reminding them that political journeys often have ups and downs. Harris is still in the game, and her presence at such a gathering shows she's focused on the future and continuing to work alongside other women to make an impact. It's all about moving forward, and she appears ready to keep making her voice heard.
So we've had two sightings of Vice President Kamala Harris in the last 2 days, and I'm grateful. You know, the first one is when she gave props to Cory Booker for sitting on the Senate floor for 24 hours, breaking that filibuster record, and also fighting to preserve democracy, fighting for those who need Medicaid, fighting for those who need SNAP benefits. So shout out to Cory Booker, and shout out for Kamala Harris for popping her head out from this. But again, she was just spotted at this women's leading conference. And she just had to say it.
There were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
And rightfully so, because she did tell you so. But one thing that I want to highlight is the fact that Kamala Harris doesn't owe us shit. But she still decided, you know, after taking a hiatus for 2.5 months, because it ain't even been 3, 2.5 months to pop her head out to continue to encourage people. Because one thing that I want to highlight is the fact that she said that fear is contagious, but so is courage. And we really missed out on true leadership and what this country could have been had she been president. And let me say this in closing, because I know you motherfuckers are so predictable. Let me put the mic on the camera so y'all can hear me. For everybody who constantly been asking about where's Kamala and the pro-Palestine people and the never Kamalas and the people who decided to vote for third party or sit on their motherfucking ass, who's been begging Kamala Harris to stick her head out the motherfucking ground, let me tell you this. She doesn't owe you shit. And now that we're going to see more of Kamala Harris, because I'm sure there's going to be more sightings of her, she's going to be more visible. I don't want to hear y'all, don't come back now that we're in trouble. Don't try to come back. Don't, because y'all motherfuckers are so predictable. Y'all been calling on Kamala. And now that she's back, I don't want to hear you motherfuckers talking from both sides of your neck saying, she needs to go away. Because you're racist pieces of fucking shit, and you're the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in.
Many have been asking, where is Kamala? They have been feeling like she has deserted them in a time of need. Well, she is back on the scene, and she is putting smiles on many people's faces. She is putting hope in people's hearts. She did mention that. She tried to tell us, and here is one of those times.
Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out.
You know,
for you.
I was told for months over the summer during the campaign that if I voted for Kamala Harris, the country would end up in a recession. Looks like they were right.
Well, yeah, I mean, elections are ultimately about choices. They aren't, you know, you don't have them in a vacuum. And I would just argue back to Kamala Harris that, you know, I told you so. I agree. I told you so. Donald Trump was going to close the southern border. I told you so. He was going to bring order to immigration. I told you so. He was going to drag this country out of the left-wing cultural ditch and put us back towards more mainstream, middle of the road.
You think he's done the last thing?
I did tell you so. Now, he's also executing, as you all have acknowledged, his economic agenda, just as he said he was going to do. He's enacting tariffs, and he's asking the Congress to make the tax cuts permanent, and he's unleashing American energy. So I agree. It is I told you so, and about half the country is okay with it, and about half the country voted for it. So it strikes me that this is a healthy level of copium going on right now among Democrats who are telling themselves stories that the people who voted for this are not happy with it. The vast majority, if not everyone who voted for Donald Trump, is some level of happiness ranging from 9 to 10 on the happiness scale.
Completely disagree.
Elon Musk's AI tool literally just stated that it would have voted for Kamala Harris and not Donald Trump. So Grok, an AI chatbot that is owned by tech billionaire Elon Musk, was asked a question by an ex-user on who would it have voted for between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and it chose Kamala Harris. Mind you, Musk was actually Donald Trump's biggest supporter, or arguably one of his biggest supporters, dropping $300 million in support for Donald Trump's presidency. Reading from the article, when asked by an ex-user who it would have voted for in the 24 elections, U.S. elections, if it were an American citizen, Grok responded, as an AI, I'd lean towards voting for Kamala Harris in 2024 based on data-driven analysis. Her platform, $6,000 child tax credit, $3 million affordable homes, 40% carbon cut by 2030, targets economic relief and climate action. The chat box continues to go on and says that it did not believe that voting for Trump was a good idea because Trump's tariffs and mass deportation could raise prices and disrupt communities. Harris's consistency on abortion and gun control also stands out versus Trump's flips. And apparently Grok's answers was recorded a day before Donald Trump did his whole Liberation Day sweep of tariffs. So basically your own invention says that the $300 million that you used to invest in the other candidate was a waste of fucking money, and proves to be correct considering how he has now tainted the entire reputation of your business. Congrats.
And just consider, I don't know if any of you have been working so hard, you may not have known, but this last weekend in Louisiana, did any of you see what happened there? It was incredible. So in Louisiana this past weekend, over 60% of the voters rejected 4 constitutional amendments that, among other things, would have cut taxes for the wealthy and corporations on the back of public services like education. And that vote, led by Black voters, is the most recent example of the movement that is happening in the states. It's happening in the states. So like you, listen, they refuse to be passive. They're not going to sit back and just watch it happen. They decided to take action.
Y'all, there are some moments in life that have to feel so good.
Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
I know that had to feel so good to just get out and just say, like, I told you. Girl, I told y'all. I called you on 3-way. I called you from a block number. I called you from a private number. I came back and I knocked on your door and told you what was going to happen. And y'all didn't want to listen. And it just makes me wonder how long she's been holding that in because of all the unfair expectations that are placed on her and other femmes in this society for no reason, that she always has to maintain decorum and can't say, hey, not only was I better, I was right. I know for Kamala Harris, that had to feel so good. And she deserves to say that because so many things that she had predicted have come true already. And we're only in year 6 of the Trump presidency. Like, this is the 6th year of it. What happens when we get to year 75? That man is not leaving the office. So he's like that one old man in every family that never goes to the doctor, eats fried chicken every day, smokes tons of cigars, and never gets sick. And for some reason lives until he's 200 years old. That man is not leaving this office. That is Paul Atreides. I just know that had to feel good, and I support that for you, sis, because sometimes you just got to be happy.
Kamala Harris spoke at a women's leadership event the other day, and she finally got to say,
I'm not here, so I told you so.
More importantly, she also said that courage is contagious. And I think that that's something we've all learned this week, thanks to Cory Booker. So I hope to see everybody who can out there this weekend at the protest on Saturday.
But I'll say this, fear has a way of being contagious. Okay? When one person has fear, it has a way of spreading to those around them. and spreading. And we are witnessing that, no doubt. But I say this also, my dear friends, courage is also contagious. Courage is also contagious.
The moment Harris declared, "I'm not going anywhere," was a defining moment in her recent statements. It was a clear message to her critics and opponents that she will not be intimidated or deterred. Harris's words were met with widespread praise and admiration, with many seeing it as a powerful expression of her commitment to public service. The statement has been widely shared and quoted and has become a rallying cry for those who support her and her policies. Harris's declaration has also been seen as a call to action, encouraging her supporters to stand up and fight for the causes they believe in. It has been interpreted as a statement of solidarity with marginalized communities and a commitment to continue advocating for their rights and interests. The moment has been widely covered in the media, with many outlets highlighting its significance and impact. Harris's words have resonated with many and have helped to galvanize support for the policies that will help all Americans the most. The statement has also been notable for its emotional resonance, with many seeing it as a deeply personal and heartfelt expression of Harris's commitment to people. It has been praised for its sincerity and authenticity, with many arguing that it is a rare example of a politician speaking from the heart. The moment has been widely shared on social media, with many using it to express their own support and admiration for Harris. Her words have helped to humanize her and make her more relatable, and have been seen as a powerful expression of her values and principles. Kamala Harris's key message is one of perseverance and determination in the face of adversity. She has made it clear that she will continue to fight for what she believes in, and that she will not be swayed by criticism or opposition. Her commitment to justice and equality remains unwavering, and she has continued to advocate for the rights of marginalized communities. Harris's powerful statement has been a rallying cry for the people who voted for her, as well as the people affected by today's administration. Leave your thoughts in the comments about Kamala Harris's statements, and be sure to check out other videos on my channel for more analysis and discussion on politics and current events. And please do like and subscribe to the channel, which helps us so much. Have a great day.
The obvious. Kamala Harris is right. She was right about everything. During that debate in October, their debate where she crushed him, she said he would crash the economy. And you know what she's doing right now? She's not on TV bragging about, "I told you so," and she has every right. But she's too classy for that. She's not throwing it in our faces. Instead, she's going to these events and she's giving messages of hope. She's still spreading messages of hope. At a recent event, and I'll tag it, she came out and said, courage is contagious. She's trying to get our leaders to stand up to DJT and not capitulate. She's not trying to put them down. She's trying to empower them. She has the easiest campaign in the world now. Because all she has to do is just come out and say, "Are you ready for me yet? Here's my plan. Here's how I plan to restore the soul of America." Her and Tim Walz, if they decide to run again, and they should, are going to have the red carpet rolled out for them when she runs once again for president. Unfortunately, it had to get this bad, and it will get worse for people to finally accept a black woman as their leader. The spell had to be broken. And honestly, it's not quite broken yet. A few more people need to wake up. A lot are, but not enough. You got these people going, "Where's Kamala? Save us, Kamala. Save us from our mistakes." No. She's not going to save you from your bad choices. You need to save you from your bad choices. It's indisputable now. She was right the entire time. But at least now we know. And I'm happy we accept that. So the next time she runs, we know what the assignment is, whenever that is. You're not crazy.